Welcome to Fazza Love Poem. Subscribe now. She was never an arrival, never the kind of love that knocks at the door and waits for someone to open it. She was not a stranger who came into my world one morning with a smile that changed everything. No, she had always been there, hidden in the silence of my veins, resting in the breath I took, moving with the rhythm of my pulse. I realized she was inside me, long before I had words for love. Like a seed waiting to bloom, like a song that exists in silence before music begins. She had been living in the secret places of my soul. Every heartbeat whispered her presence. Every thought was already shaped by her shadow. She was not something I found. She was the one I carried, the truth that had been a part of me since the beginning. She didn't arrive to stay. She had been there, eternal before I even understood what eternity meant. When I looked back, I saw her reflection in the earliest fragments of my memory. She was the warmth in the wind that touched my childhood face, the comfort in nights I thought I spent alone. She was not outside me. She was the silence that held me together, the stillness that kept me alive. I understood it later, when life unfolded her presence more clearly, but she was always there. Before dreams came, she was already the dreamer inside me. Before love found its name, she was its essence breathing in me. She did not arrive like others do, with footsteps and words. She was already the pulse beneath every silence, the soul hidden behind every breath. And when I finally opened my eyes wide enough to see, I realized she had never entered. She had simply revealed what was always mine. Some loves arrive suddenly, like storms, like fire, but she was different. She was the water already flowing in my veins, the air already filling my lungs. I didn't notice at first because she was not outside me to seek. She was within me, waiting for me to recognize her reflection. Every inhale carried her name without sound. Every exhale released her light without words. She was not discovery, she was recognition. She was not new, she was the oldest truth I had. Even the silence around me whispered of her presence. Even the nights I thought were empty were filled with her quiet glow. I never had to reach out to find her, because she was not beyond me. She was in me, deeper than thought, closer than breath. Love did not come, it was always here, always. I remember the first time I truly saw her, not with eyes, but with the soul that had always known her. It felt like meeting someone familiar, someone I had been waiting for, but never waiting at all, because she was not coming. She was being revealed. Her laughter was not new. It was the echo of something I had always carried. Her silence was not absence. It was the same stillness that had comforted me in lonely nights. She was not a stranger stepping into my story. She was the story itself, already written inside me. My blood carried her rhythm. My heart carried her echo. My soul carried her light. She didn't arrive in my life. She was my life, unfolding herself slowly, like dawn revealing the sun that was always there. It is easy to think love begins with meeting, with eyes finding eyes, with voices calling names. But she taught me something greater, that love is older than meetings, older than words, older than time itself. She was not something I started. She was something I discovered, had always been flowing through me, like rivers that already exist before we see them, like stars that already shine before the night makes them visible. She was there untouched by time. My heart had been beating her rhythm before I ever called it hers. My soul had been whispering her name before my lips could form the sound. She was not an arrival. She was eternity revealing itself through her. She was the quiet certainty in me, the hidden strength I never understood until I saw her face. And then it all made sense, why I felt whole even in solitude, why I believed in love even before I touched, because she was already in me, living like breath, moving like blood, dreaming like spirit. She was the unseen half of me that had always been present. When I finally knew her, it was not the start of a journey, it was the realization that I had been walking with her all along. She was the echo in every silence, the warmth in every shadow, the forever that had been living inside me since before I was born. I could not lose her, because how do you lose what has always been part of you? She was not outside, to slip away with time. She was within, tied to my existence, etched into my being, like veins etched into skin. Even if the world turned silent, she would still be there in my breath. Even if the stars disappeared, she would still shine in my heartbeat. She was not a chapter in my life. She was the ink in which every chapter was written. She didn't arrive. She had always been the writer, the language, the meaning. My love for her was not built. It was born with me. Every time I close my eyes, I return to that truth. I feel her in my silence, in the spaces between thoughts, in the stillness between breaths. She was never apart from me. She was my very essence, disguised as love, but deeper than love. She was the soul I thought was mine, but it was always out. She didn't come walking into my world. She was the ground beneath my steps, the horizon I always walked toward, the sky above me that never left. Love didn't arrive. It simply awakened, revealing what had always been alive within me. And now I know, forever is not something we wait for, not something we promise, not something we reach. Forever is what has always lived within us, waiting to be recognized. She didn't arrive in my life. She was my life, breathing through me, shining in me, loving as me. She was already here, eternal, long before I called her mine. She was not a beginning. She was the endless presence that makes beginnings possible. She was not arrival. She was revelation, and I carry her still, not as someone beside me, but as the very essence of who I am. She was never apart. She was always within. And so even as I speak these words, I know they are not mine alone. They rise from the same silence, where she has always lived, from the breath, where her name has always hidden, from the soul where our forever was written, before time began. She did not arrive and she will never leave, because she is not a visitor to my heart. She is the heart itself, beating these lines into being. Every moment I live, every verse I write, every whisper of love I share with the world, carries her presence like light, carries warmth. She is the poem I have been writing since before I had a voice, the truth I have been living since before I had a name, and now I share it with you. This is not just my story, it is every soul's story that has known a love so deep it feels eternal. Welcome to Fazza Love Poem. Subscribe now and walk with me through these silences, where love has always been waiting.